Welcome back, Constantine, the philosopher, back again, here with you. Today I saw a great video about a guy called Matt Ross, about before and after the internet, and it really made me think about my past and the direction now with AI especially that the world is heading. So I decided today to think about this, what he talked about, and maybe give my part of it. Basically, in the old days, gratification used to take time, like you would appreciate, one event, like for example, going to a movie theater, or, waiting for the new Michael Jackson song. You anticipated, everything was exciting, you had to be patient, you had to be waiting on the radio for the right time to find the song. So, it was a bit of nostalgia there, but also, it made you think about, being patient, having patience, not rushing to, like nowadays, immediately on the phone, every answer is right there. Especially with AI now, it's out of control. Another thing I also missed, and noticed a big change, is the fact that you, like you mentioned in the video, where you have no interaction. Humans now, like what he missed in the video, and I think it's very important, is that many people nowadays get depressed, they have issues. I see so many people in therapy, young kids like 5, 6, I'm like, god damn. And it's all because, all day on the iPad, all day, sitting there watching, videos and, playing video games. And, it's not healthy for the brain. We need to be socializing, going out there. And unfortunately, with AI now, I think it's going to get even worse. And I really wish I knew the answer. It's so fresh right now. So I would say, there's a kind of, we're kind of in a, unfortunately it's like a one-way direction, and I don't think there's an easy solution. So I would say, to add to his video, that many, I think the parents, unfortunately, like I said, they became very protective and very, like the kids are becoming weaker. They don't have a chance to explore on their own early. Like I remember when I was 15, I couldn't wait to find my first job, to help. I was asking, anybody, to do work, to go out there, Like I remember how I approached, women, and like in high school, I was very shy, I was confused, I had to try and find the timing, I didn't know, the schedule. I had to, you have to be patient, you have to, just do your homework and any kind of strategy. You have to strategize very young to go ahead and make some moves. Business-wise, relationship-wise, with your friends too. Sometimes, you have to spend the night, trying to, like be creative. There was no like distractions, like anyway. Sorry, the view is distracting me. The waves, so beautiful. So the good news is that there's also a good side of this technology. That we can have a different approach to this world. We can nowadays get things done, faster. So I think there's a good side and a bad side. The only thing we have to do is, I guess, balance things. I think this world, unfortunately, this social thing has become very addictive and out of control in a sense. And I don't know if there's a way to rewind a bit or slow down. The pace has gone so fast, especially with AI now, very, very fast. So I don't know how, things are going to get slower. And I think maybe the parents' job is to monitor that and, and guide, moderation, like everything. It's like, you don't want to eat like all day if you have, a buffet. The same goes with technology. You have to, and also use the good side. So for example, being here, thanks to technology, thanks to AI, thanks to Starlink, thanks to, all those technology advances, this, I wouldn't be able to be here. So there's a good side to find yourself. But the kids, unfortunately, they need direction. I see like a lot of kids, especially I give you an example in America. 10 years ago, I saw like I went to kind of those startup companies where there was a competition programming, and I was there and I saw the guy with his kid, right? It was like 10-year-old or 8-year-old, and it was a 2-day event. You had to code or create a business with 2 people. This guy he brought his kid along, and immediately he went on the iPad. And I remember I say hello, and he immediately ignored me and kind of stared at me and looked back on the iPad, put his headphones, and he literally, I'm not kidding, spent from like 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. on the iPad. He didn't move from the table, I think. And also, he did that for 2 days straight. And I was like, what? I was like, what's going on here? And that's how, we have become, the parents, because, it keeps the kid quiet, and distracted. But at the same time, you destroy, the brain, the kid evolving. So I've seen things very strange like this, and I'm sure I have like other, other events that shock me. But even here, I see, people around being enjoying the beach, this beautiful view and this beautiful nature. They're sitting on the phone sometimes, spending all day playing video games. I see the same suspects, pretty much. But there's hope because there are kids I see playing ball. Here it's a different environment because it's a small village and people get they have to go out. Their internet's kind of bad bandwidth, but eventually it's going to be Starlink everywhere, or who knows what, free internet somewhere one day. And especially with AI, I don't know how this can be reverted or slowed down. So yeah, I kind of today made this video. Again, Matt Ross, please check out his video about before and after the internet. It's a great video. Especially for people who are millennials or Generation X, and you see that unfortunately, there used to be things like like even going to Blockbuster. I remember I enjoyed you have to do effort sometimes. Like I give you an example. Let's say you wanted to do an essay, right? For an essay, you have to go to the library. It would take 6 months to a team of 4 people, me and in a university, to organize, to find the books, to research. Nowadays, you can just do one, literally like query oral on Gemini or ChatGPT or Claude, whatever, and have like better essay than what I wrote in my team, and probably got, anyway. So the point I'm trying to make is we have to be very aware that it's powerful, but at the same time, we're missing the, delivering, like our own thinking and, and work to get things done. I have so many examples, I can think of. I remember I was going out with my friends all the time. We were like trading, like I remember like since the childhood, like I remember in 1980, probably earlier than that, we were trading like cards with my friends because you couldn't find those things. That's all you had. You have to play games, to trade. It's like you were the eBay. You were the guy, the eBay guy. But nowadays you just one click. Hello, how are you? Now with one click, you can get like 10 answers, 10 I don't know. It's a different speed. So yeah, and this speed unfortunately keeps short-term attention. ADHD, and many people get like a lot of emotional issues. At home, they cannot focus, and then they take pills, they take medication, go to therapy, and there's no need for that. All they need is friends, a normal life. Because you have to understand this technology happened. The last since the 80s. Before that, there was nothing. It's like for thousands of years we didn't have these tools. We didn't have this access to digital world. We're not like sitting all day on the camera like I do right now, right? We were communicating. Like the gentleman here said, hello. It's a small village. People communicate. There is interaction. You can have relations, and it's kind of like humanity appreciating the outside world. Like look at this. What would you like to be on the phone? We have all this beauty out here. We have only 10,000. How many days on Earth? 10,000, 30,000, 30,000, right? But if you remove the sleeping, the eating, the time in school, pretty much 10,000 days and nights to enjoy, right? So, and if you're likely to survive so many years, So you got to do the maximum out of it. And unfortunately, this technology has, make everything kind of like irrelevant. Our humanity has become irrelevant, and we're gonna become like kind of brain dead. And I feel like we're becoming like zombies. Especially if you remember during the COVID, people, were going like, completely like inhumane. Like they would stay home, they wouldn't communicate, they'd be very like paranoia. I think the future is very scary. It's very scary if we don't make some serious changes, especially the parents. They have to really be on top of kids, not overprotective, more be involved to old, like old school approach, kind of, like a balance of new and old. And I don't think there's an easy solution. Anyhow, enjoy the view a bit. Look at that. And some karaoke, singing. So hopefully, because as a parent too, I'm very concerned. I just gave birth. My wife gave birth a few months ago, and I mean, in 20 years, I can imagine. I think my guess is that people will have to have a chip, implanted in the brain, or like they have like glasses, they'll be 24/7 on the computer, like automatically without even, even with no chip, they'll be like infiltrated all day, 24/7. And the problem with that is that then control becomes very scary in the sense that you have no choice and you have no control of your thoughts, and you become kind of like stuck in your bubble, inhuman, and I don't know. It looks very, very concerning. Hopefully, I'm able to give you advice as I go along this journey of parenthood, and how to raise, and give you advice further down the road. But for now, I'm very, very concerned. I really don't know. I don't know what's the best way to advise. Even for currently, if I had currently a child in the in adolescence. So yeah, I think maybe a good way to do would be to maybe it's like I miss like the guy said in the video about movie theater, preparation, like going out with the family. Nowadays everything is like instantaneous. You can just download the app, you can just immediately distract, bam, boom. There's no like appreciation, anything, just everything's there. ChatGPT can answer anything you want. I remember I had too many questions. As a teenager, I made my own answers. I had like the things I'm talking right now. I even thought of them as a kid. I had to sit down and think of things. My mother would ask me, "What's the point of life?" or whatever, and we would talk about things like this, because there was no book that would explain them. There were maybe somewhere in the library that were not available, or maybe not. Somebody had taken out for 3 months or lost them. So it was always like you have to do a lot of guesswork. You have to use your imagination. You have to be creative, and so hopefully I really wish I had good news for that. I'm positive that there's going to be good things, of course, with this technology, going crazy advanced. But at the same time, I'm scared that, many people are going to lose their marbles. Like you see, like I say, in the West, it's very obvious, Here people are very welcoming, but unfortunately, in the West, people have lost their marbles completely. I've seen like people in therapy, like so young, and there's no need to take medication so young. I mean, I had ADHD, it was natural, I remember every day I had wounds on my knees and, running around and always falling and playing with my friends. I mean, nowadays I don't see any kid playing in the West. I never seen any, I don't remember. It's really sad. It's not normal. That's why you see like 30-year-old kids, living with their parents. They don't know how to talk to girls. There's no, especially now with everything expensive on top of that, add inflation. Forget about it. Anyway, I want to finish with a good note, so check the good note. Check his video, Matt Ross, excellent. Before the internet, 5-star, highly recommended. And and if you have any answers, how to raise my kid or any other, input, feel free to put any comments. I'm always, like I said, I'm looking for answers for all this crazy things we go through, and say hello to Luna before I say bye-bye. See you on the next one.